Hello, hi everyone. This is Dr. Sana Khan, your biology expert, and you're watching my channel NEET Biology Answer. So today we have to continue with the lecture 5 of chapter Human Reproduction, जहां पर हम बात करेंगे about spermatogenesis. Oogenesis के बारे में हम बात करेंगे अगले लेक्चर में. इस लेक्चर में we will be focusing on spermatogenesis and structure of sperm. So let us see where does the spermatogenesis, that is the formation of sperm, takes place. So spermatogenesis, that is the formation of sperms, takes place in the testes in seminiferous tubules. We have already talked about the detailed structure of testes in the lecture number 2. So अगर अभी तक आपने नहीं देखा है तो please go and watch the lecture number 1 and 2 so that you get clear with the structure of the male reproductive system. So spermatogenesis किधर होता है? Spermatogenesis takes place in the testes in the seminiferous tubules. So this is a diagram which I have already shown you in the lecture 2, where we have talked about the histology of testes. Testes are surrounded by a single layer of cuboidal epithelium called as germinal epithelium. These germ cell undergo the process of spermatogenesis. So ये जो germ layer होते हैं, that is going to go under the process of spermatogenesis. अब ये spermatogenesis शुरू कब होता है? It starts on the onset of puberty. So what happens on the onset of puberty? The hypothalamus starts secreting gonadotropin releasing hormone. So during the time of puberty, the hypothalamus secretes GnRH hormone, that is your gonadotropin releasing hormone. Now, what is the effect of these on the testes? It causes increase in the follicle stimulating hormone, which finally induces spermatogenesis. So, spermatogenesis takes place where? It takes place in the cuboidal epithelium, which is also called as germinal epithelium. And when does it start? It starts on puberty. And what happens during the puberty? What are the changes which takes place? In the pubertal time, what happens is there is a release of gonadotropin releasing hormone, which causes increase in the follicle stimulating hormone, which finally results in spermatogenesis. So let us understand the detailed structure of spermatogenesis, that is the diagrammatic representation. So this is called as a primordial cell, which is diploid in nature. This primordial cell is nothing but present in your seminiferous tubule. Okay, that's your germinal epithelium. Now this primordial cell, which is diploid in nature, is going to undergo mitosis. So after undergoing mitosis, it forms spermatogonium. So there are many primordial cells, okay, which are diploid in nature. They undergo mitosis. As they are undergoing mitosis, the number of chromosomes over here are remaining same. And what do they form? They form spermatogonium. So from primordial cells, we form spermatogonium. Now this step is called as multiplication phase. Now these spermatogonium increase in size, okay? So they acquire food and they grow in size, see like this. So they grow in size and they are called as primary spermatocyte. Here you can clearly see that primary spermatocyte is also diploid in nature, right? So here the spermatogonium has only increased in size. There is not meiosis taking place. So that is why the nature of the chromosome over here is the same. Spermatogonium is also 2n and the primary spermatocyte is also 2n. So apart from growth, there is nothing change which is taking place over here. So that is why this phase is called as growth phase. Now this primary spermatocyte will undergo meiosis 1. See, so when it undergoes meiosis 1, what have we studied? From one cell, there are two cells are formed. I hope you have already studied about the meiosis in the 11th standard in the chapter cell division. Meiosis takes place in two steps, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. Meiosis 1 में आपके दो सेल बनते हैं, but yes, the chromosome number becomes half. Very, very important. Meiosis 1 में there from one cell two cells are formed, but आपका जो chromosome number होगा वो half हो जाएगा. And meiosis 2 में again आपके दो सेल बनेंगे, मतलब in total meiosis में चार सेल बनेंगे, but in the meiosis 2 जो chromosome number होगा वो same होगा. So primary spermatocyte undergo meiosis 1 and it forms secondary spermatocyte. Now it undergoes meiosis 2, right? So आपके एक से finally आपके चार बन गए, आपको clearly image में दिख रहा है, okay? And they form a structure called as spermatid, which is again N. Because ये meiosis 2 में हमने क्या पढ़ा है? Meiosis 2 में हमने पढ़ा है कि number of chromosomes are going to remain the same. And this phase is called as maturation phase. So this is a very hit question where usually I have seen my children getting confused कि what is the ploidy of primary and secondary spermatocyte. बच्चा प्राइमरी स्पर्मेटोसाइट की जो प्लॉइडी होती है वो 2n होती है बिकॉज वो आपके स्पर्मेटोगोनियम से बनता है एंड वहां पर कोई मियोसिस नहीं होता है. But primary spermatocyte undergo meiosis and it forms secondary. When it forms secondary, here as the meiosis has taken place, the chromosome number become half. And then the secondary spermatocyte undergo meiosis too and form spermatid, which is again N, and this phase is called as maturation phase. And finally, from spermatid, there are some structural changes which takes place and there is a result of formation of sperm, which you can also call it as spermatozoa. Okay, so this is the process of spermatogenesis. Let us revise once again. In the testes, in the seminiferous tubule, there are primordial cells which are 2n. Primordial cells undergo mitosis and forms huge number of spermatogonium. So this is a phase where there is a multiplication taking place. So it is also called as multiplication phase. Now this spermatogonium is 2n. That's what you have to remember. Now this spermatogonium will undergo the change in the growth. So that is why this phase is called as growth phase and it is called as primary spermatocyte, which is again 2n. Now primary spermatocyte undergo meiosis 1 and form secondary spermatocyte, which was haploid in nature. Secondary spermatocyte undergo meiosis 2 and form spermatid, which is again haploid in nature. And here it is called as maturation phase. And finally, the spermatid forms sperm that is also called as spermatozoa. So please remember that there are three phases in spermatogenesis. The first one is the multiplication phase. The second one is the growth phase. The third one is the maturation phase. Okay. So this is a description what I have written for multiplication phase. And this is for the growth phase. And finally, your maturation phase. So now the spermatid which are formed are non-motile and they are not functional. So it undergoes transformed into a spermatozoa by the process called as spermiogenesis. Very, very important. We need to remember that spermatids are non-motile in nature. They are non-functional. So they have to become functional, right? So when they become functional, they are called as spermatozoa, and that process of formation of sperm from spermatid is called as spermiogenesis. This is something which can be asked in your NEET exams about spermiogenesis. So during this change, sperm head remains attached to the Sertoli cells and their tail hangs in the lumen of seminiferous tubule. So Sertoli cells, what are the Sertoli cells? Sertoli cells are just present aside your spermatogonium. So they are just attached over there and the tails are hanging in the seminiferous tubule, in the lumen of the seminiferous tubule. So during spermiogenesis, length of spermatid increases, centrioles are rearranged as primary and distal centrioles, mitochondria become spirally coiled, and acrosome gets formed from Golgi complex. Okay, so these are the changes which can be asked in as an MCQ. Ki what are the changes which a spermatid undergoes? So during spermatid changing, the centrioles are rearranged. That will be studying about the centrioles of the sperm in the structure of sperm, that they get rearranged as primary and distal centrioles. Mitochondria becomes coiled and acrosome. What is acrosome? I'll be talking about in the structure of sperm that gets formed from Golgi complex. So this is the entire cycle of the spermatogenesis which we have already discussed. Okay, so the formation of spermatid from spermatogonium is called as spermatidogenesis, and formation of sperm from spermatid is called as spermiogenesis or spermatolysis. These are the terms which can also be asked in your MCQ. What is spermatidogenesis, what is spermiogenesis, and what is spermatolysis? So this is again very important to remember. Okay, so histology of testes, we already know about it. Once again, Sertoli cells are nothing but your pyramidal cells. They provide nourishment to the sperms. So the sperms are going to get the nourishment during their developmental stage from the Sertoli cells. Now let us come to the next part, that is the structure of sperm, which is also called as spermatozoon. The sperm is also called as what? Spermatozoon. Sperm means seed and zoon means animal. So this is an haploid male gamete which is produced by your seminiferous tubule in testes. We have already done how it is exactly produced, the 3 stages. So the length of the sperm is 60 micron or 0.05 mm. It is microscopic, motile and flagellated cell. So during the spermatid stage, it is non-motile. But when it changes into sperm, it becomes motile and it is able to move because of the flagella. The sperm remains viable for 72 hours or 3 days in the female reproductive tract. And it can fertilize ovum in the first initial 12 to 14 hours. So this is the structure. So this is the head. Then comes your neck, middle piece, and then comes your tail. So this is a structure of the sperm which gets divided into head, neck, middle piece and tail. So head is oval, flat region. This is the acrosome which we were talking about, that changes takes place in the spermatid. So this is the acrosome which is formed near the head. It's like a cap. Okay, it's like a cap of the head. So it's called as a cap-like acrosome. It has Golgi bodies. Plus, it is going to have a lytic enzymes, the breaking enzymes like hyaluronidase and proteolytic enzymes like zona, lysine and corona penetrating enzymes. See, these are the lytic enzymes which are very, very important, because when the sperm enters the ovum, it has to break the wall of corona. It has to break the cells of corona radiata and zona lysine. So with the help of these enzymes, it will be able to penetrate the ovum. So acrosome ka function is very, very important, and the content is also very important. So which enzyme it contains? It consists of a lot of lytic enzymes like hyaluronidase and proteolytic enzymes. Plus it also consists of zona lysine and corona penetrating enzyme. इसका function हम detail में करेंगे जब हम बात करेंगे about the cleavage and fertilization in the subsequent lectures. So this is the nucleus which is present in the head, and this is the nucleus. Obviously, it's going to carry all the genetic information. So it looks something like that. So you can clearly see that acrosome is present in the anterior half of the nucleus. Okay, so acrosome and the anterior half of the nucleus is also covered by a fibrillar sheath. Okay, so this is a fibrillar sheath which is going to cover your half. Okay, we can say that anterior half of the nucleus plus your acrosome. Coming back to the structure, let's talk about the neck. So what does the neck consist of? Neck is a very short part and it consists of centriole. Now I hope you remember about the centriole when we talk about in the spermatids. So these are the centrioles which are clearly arranged in proximal and distal part. So it has two centrioles, it has a proximal and a distal centriole. So proximal centriole is going to initiate the first cleavage. So what is first cleavage? We will be talking on the lecture cleavage. Okay, so distal centriole forms the axial filament. So the proximal is going to start with the cleavage and distal one is going to form the axial filament. Now coming to the next part, that is middle piece. Middle piece consists of mitochondria. This is a mitochondria which is spiral in structure and it is also called as Nabocon. Please remember this. Okay, so it's going to have a spiral mitochondria called as Nabocon. So mitochondria है तो energy ही देगा, correct? It's going to provide the energy. And the axial filament which is surrounded by 10 to 14 spiral turns of mitochondria. Okay, so this is the axial filament which is surrounded by 10 to 14 spiral turns of mitochondria. Now let us talk about the last part of the sperm, that is tail. So it's a long, slender, tapering cytoplasmic structure. So it's a tapering structure. Okay, it's going to have the axial filament. Okay, and this obviously we talked about the axial filament कि वो आपके distal centriole से आता है and it traverses it. It helps in the movement of sperm. So sperm is able to move because of your tail. So it is partly surrounded by plasma membrane, that is the main piece, and the other part is not surrounded with the membrane, and that is called as the end piece. So this is all about the spermatogenesis and the structure of sperm. So if you have understood, if you have liked the video, then please do like the video and subscribe to my channel. And soon I'm going to come up with the next lecture where we are going to talk about the oogenesis and structure of ovum. Okay, so soon I'll meet you with the next video. Till then, bye, take care, be safe, be at home, study hard. I'll meet you soon. Bye.